This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Thursday, September 21st, 2017. The title of this rant is Last Call for ObummerCare Recall. So right now, between now and the 30th, probably be early next week, the Republicans are going to try and vote as their last chance to overturn the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare or ObummerCare. Now, this is the third or fourth try that they've done, and again, the estimates are, without a scoring, is that between 15 million on the low end and up to 32 million on the high end of Americans will lose health insurance because of the sleight of hand that they're putting into the language of the legislation. Now, why? The GOP needs a win. The betrayer of trust needs a win. Now, remember, if this comes to the instigator of hate's desk and he signs it, it's going against many of his promises on the campaign trail where he said that you would get better insurance and less expensive insurance. And here's some of the real problems with it. It ends Medicaid by 2027. So it gives a little bit of Medicaid, and then each year it drops, and it's all over by 2027. It gives the states the option to not cover pre-existing conditions. One of the big things that made the Affordable Care Act so great. Another thing is that it really socks it to the blue states. So a state like California could lose up to $78 billion over the course of the next 10 years. New York would get hit hard too. Illinois and many other states. And of course, the Republicans who are sponsoring this bill are going to the other Republican senators and telling them how much it's going to sock it to these blue states. So they're going all out. And of course, again, there are Americans living in those states and there are Republicans living in those states, and they're willing to sock it to them to get this legislation passed. The next thing is all major health associations are against this bill. The American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, American Lung Association, American Diabetes Association, etc., etc. They don't want it. The insurance companies look at it as terrible legislation because guess what? Obamacare was a compromise so that they could make money. And they're going to lose money if this thing goes through, and people will not get cared for. Now, a big thing about this that's really terrible and awkward is that, as I mentioned, blue states are going to get hit hard in terms of money that they're going to lose. And there are a lot of GOP representatives, House representatives, in those blue states. And if the Senate passes it, it has to go back to the House, which has to pass it exactly how it is. And they have a big dilemma. Their constituents will not want them to vote for this, and they will get socked in the next election. Okay? So all of this is really terrible. And the biggest reason is they want to sock it to Obamacare. They want to fulfill a campaign promise. So this is political. This is not social. This is not economic. This is 100% strictly political payback. All right, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. So if anyone has any representative that's a Republican, either a senator or a representative, they need to call and tell them that you are against this repeal of the Affordable Care Act.